Alright, so now that it's just me and you, audience, I have some evil plans for what I'm going to do with my tower layer, and I don't need to keep any of these things secret, because by the time that any of the other Unorthoblocks members get to watch my scheming, it will be too late for them to do anything about it. Mwah. Mwahaha. Now, my actual evil plan is to stick my fellow Unorthoblocks server members in Ender Pearl test chambers, and by the end of it, they will be thinking with Ender Pearls, so help me. This is the Ender Pearl propaganda that you were trying to escape, but you can't. Because here I am, in your server, forcing you to climb and test your way through plenty of Ender Pearl challenges. Alright, Glazed Terracotta, my one of my many arch-nemesi. But in particular, we can see it being incredibly annoying to work with today. Who gave it permission to be such a menace? I mean, I suppose I did. I am an absolute menace, and it is in my color, but still, could it stop that? Must it do this to me? Right, that's a few of these little sword decorations facing the right way. Our opening foyer. Our guests will come out here. And we're going to have amethyst as part of the decoration element. Just to make sure that yon ice hero, who's made insurmountable challenges of parkour, knows exactly who it is set up this challenge to stop him from getting any further up the tower. I mean, he gave me some very nice presents, and we do like the very nice present he gave me, but that doesn't change the fact that I am here to menace him as much as he's here to menace me. Now, those of you who are familiar with how Ender Pearl physics works will already, I think, have a very good guess on how this particular, or what this particular trick is going to be. Of course, that's not the actual trick, but we can still put this area in here, along with some clear signs in the ceiling directing you back towards where we came. Now we extend the walls, and I need to figure out how high the ceilings are. Now this particular area is going to be fully walled off, so we will have no exterior windows, and no interior windows. And now if I understand how my Ender Pearls work, okay, let's actually create the catchment wall in the back first before I try purling through here. I'm going to have to manually test out every one of these chambers just to make sure that it does actually work as intended. Right. Let's also have a reference point. This tower. That is as high as my layer is allowed to go. So, I'm testing Ender Pearls. Okay, do I understand how Ender Pearls work? Apparently not. Is that little gap going to be visible from down below? Yes. Okay, so we're going to be fiddling with this for a bit. I may need to actually have that be a corner of a block. Okay, so my Ender Pearl tricks that I thought were perfectly possible are less plausible than they appear. Alright, well, I would have sworn this was possible to do. Apparently it's not. That'll still open. Is that still blatantly obvious that there's a hole? Nope. However, there's also no space underneath for... It is blatantly obvious if you get up close and personal that there's a hole. Does this still work, actually, if I remove the strict negative space? Yes! Okay. Phew. About time that worked. I now have my ridiculous ender pearl trick. And what seems like the far more sensible ender pearl trick, just going straight through the wall. Speaking of which, I need to light up that area so that we don't get mobs spawning back there. And I need to include in the ceiling a... You came the wrong way, actually. There we go. Okay, looking at it, the spot where you have to go forwards for the skip had best be that way. Right, so we're gonna get some of how are my chambers lined up relative to each other, being determined by how the magenta glazed terracotta decrees that our suffering should progress. And I'm gonna go through quite a few pork chops as I murder myself with ender pearls today, aren't I? Right, and from here, and that little shortcut that we just built is going to connect fairly close to the end of the test chambers. And meanwhile, the rest of the chambers are just going to slowly work our way through, teaching people how to think with portals. Okay, and there's just enough of a hint involving those end rods. You can far too easily see if that area's been lit up. So we're going to put the end rods here in front of the double chests and go back into that area and remove those end rods and make sure that and check if that's still bright enough. Right, so with the end rods gone from this area, it's still bright enough. So, upon further reflection, every room has to be outfitted with a chest of ender pearls to more thoroughly idiot-proof everything. So that people can't be stuck sitting here trying to figure out, how do I get out of this mess? What am I supposed to do? If they somehow manage to run out of ender pearls, because I have been reminded that it is very possible to go through 16 ender pearls trying to do one ender pearl trick. And people who are unfamiliar with ender pearls may not think to carry enough of them. And we just put a little splash of color in our walls. This might be a horrifying test chamber as you are forced to grapple with the mechanics of ender pearls, but that doesn't mean it has to be an ugly one. Skip a few to the next complication in my building process. Gazing upon the next complication in my design, and also having flown off to grab purple to properly lay this tile better, I realized that I have made a fundamentally wrong design decision here with following the circular pattern of the previous layers. This floor is horrifyingly blocky, and I should lean into that design aesthetic. This floor is a collection of squares. There are no room for curves here. So we're going to have the anchor points, these nether brick stairwells, but it's going to go all the way around here. And the nether brick rim that I had constructed, incorrect. Simply incorrect. I will, of course, have to figure out what precisely is going on in the chaos of this floor. But we already have a lovely layout of shape, and now I just need to figure out some puzzles to go in here. And even if I don't figure out any puzzles to go in here, having the floor just extend a bit longer gives it an added feeling of presence. And now I really will, 1, 2, skip a few, and come back when this is done. Because you should not have to suffer through me making little wishy-washy back and forths on my decision-making. That's Spring's job. By the point where I'm showing this off, everything should be finished. I should know what I'm doing. So we will return once I have figured out exactly what I'm doing to this little maze, and to all of my poor server members who had it coming. That awkward moment when I'm about 90% of the way through building my purple floor, the Unortho Tower, and I properly remember that there is also a magenta floor, and that I have been using the wrong glass this entire time. And with some last-minute alterations to this area, like adding in beds, because I realized that mortals going through here are not guaranteed to actually have enough stamina to just survive ender pearling the entire way. And actually providing them with food seems like way too much work, when I could just allow them to progress through my maze by repeatedly dying. Okay, I mean, I admit that there's some slight problems there with them being mortal, and my premise of repeatedly dying, but they are other fellow Unorthoblocks members. They're only so mortal, you know? They're resilient. But anyway, my layer of the tower is done, the layer above me is done. We have some cute little puzzles. The shortcut I built is honestly harder to execute than just going around the long way. So I expect to lose horribly, because I will try to do my shortcut and fail miserably. Which is fine. That's what terribly designed shortcuts are for. So let's go back to my base and just do some last little finishing touches. Clean things up, see if we can add some extra buildings to my village. Maybe do something about that maybe put in that last nether portal under the bridge. That looks weird. When did this get put in? I'd been working on the starterways, but it's looking a lot prettier. Okay, huh? You know, this sort of feels like what might have happened if I had been Lady Spring and Autumn had turned up to finish the project. But since I'm Lady Autumn, who on earth went through and finished my build for me? Well, let's see. Does this nether portal go anywhere? Because I don't remember building it. Oh no. That's a bad Nope! Nope, 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 nope! Nope! What on earth happened here? Why is everything covered in... Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. What happened here? What's going on? Why is it like this? The magic's gone past me. Look around. What do you see? An endless expanse of sculk, and who you'll be. Now hold still, and let me possess you. Sure, I'll hold still. Just answer one question, Skulky. Did you really believe I'd fall for your glamour so easily? What do you... No matter. It's time for you to become me. Actually, make that 2 questions. Did you forget what amethyst does to our magic? What are you spouting? We share none of our fellow elves' weaknesses. It is not our anti-magic. If anything, it makes ours... Oh. Oh, no. Oh, yes! Enjoy your freedom, Skulky. Or should I say, Shieldy. Since it seems you just managed to make your past self from my amethyst shield. You might be an Aurora, but you'll never be me. And now, with the loop closed, it seems you never were. Now, Toodles, I'm out of here. Oh, thank everything for those ender pearls that I was just working on my tower layer, because that would have been so bad without them. We're running. Hopefully we'll get away. I've got a plan for where we can hide. Oh good, the nether tunnels at least, and most of the rest of the nether hasn't been taken over yet. Yet being the operative word. I know what happens with the sculk infestation that bad. We're gonna have a problem, really quickly. And I suppose I owe Plasma a thank you for this lovely shield. I wasn't expecting possession magic to be on the list of things that it could do something about, but thank you, Plasma. Your gift. I owe Plasma one in the next season. Anyway, I have a brilliant plan for how we get out of this problem. Goodbye. No one would ever think to look for me here. I mean, it's Draken's base. Obviously no one would think to look for me here. But Draken, at some point in the past, offered an invitation for people to move into the habitation rooms. So if I can just find where the habitation ring is... I think it might be this way. If I can figure out how to navigate Draken... If I can't figure out how to navigate Draken's base, there's no way my evil doppelganger will either. Which is a weird statement to say, because I thought I was the evil doppelganger around here, but, you know, that happens with alternate timeline, bad future things. But anyway, presumably, if the Skulk Future Autumn is also me, she will share my same weaknesses, including a weakness to cold iron. And while this isn't the coldest iron base, it isn't not cold iron. And if something goes wrong, I'll just hide behind Draken. So we'll set up in one of these habitats and wait out the end of the world. Somewhere nice and safe where no one will ever find me. See you guys in the next Unorthoblocks. So, let's make this habitat somewhere a bit more comfortable to be our apocalypse bunker. And, let the world, savor the end of a season, even if it wasn't quite how we planned it to be. I do still love a good ending around here. So, 1, 2, skip a few, habitat. Well, it's still uncomfortably much iron in here. But that, it's done. It's a glorious mess. God bless this mess. And we have plenty of health and safety hazards here. We've got the barrier of iron and... Okay, the copper is not quite as suitably cold for keeping out Fae, but hopefully that nice little seal is going to make it a little bit harder for my alternate self to actually come in and fight me here. I mean, my primary defense is the fact that I'm hiding behind Draken, But in the case that that fails, hopefully that will serve as suitable warding. And we then have this glorious health and safety hazard here on an end station. One of these two objects probably shouldn't be here. The answer, of course, is both. Both of them probably shouldn't be. We've got the amethyst to properly keep plasma away. And a little bit of reckless space-time. And actually, speaking of space-time, there is one last thing I need to do before this season ends. Sure, time travel might be what got me into this mess. But I need to finish actually getting myself into this mess with time travel. So let's go pick up some time-space coffee from the coffee shop at the end of the season. And with that, it will actually be officially over. Because once I have that coffee, there's nothing left to do but send it back in time so I can drink it. And it's done. The history box is sitting there with no new history to fill in. There's no more time here in my space-time charging. There was only space out here in deep space. Now, I can't really leave through that door, so we're just going to skip a few, go back in time to before I sealed it, and then skip a few steps forward again to actually buy my coffee. So, somewhere in Spawn Valley, there is a time-space coffee shop, which I know exists because I bought coffee from it, but I haven't done that yet, and I need to find... I think I see a stairs here. Yeah, I think I see some time-space coffee shop. This looks so good. Like, we have the lovely open balcony to watch spawn from, with the mugs of coffee sitting here by the table, and we have the collection of coffee. Okay, so I know which one I'm sending back in time for past me to drink, but maybe I'll also drink some other coffee as a treat now, and sit here and watch at the end of the season. From nice here in Spawn Valley. Of course, maybe I need to wait a little bit more time for the proper end of the season coffee shop to open. So, I've got my diamonds. 1, 2, skip a few. The correct time to be here. Okay, now that we are properly here at the last hour of the season, it's now finally time to actually buy some time coffee. I couldn't buy the time coffee any earlier than that. You have to buy it at the last possible second. And, okay, no. I have to drink the crying obsidian coffee. Like, I could go for some space time to properly anchor myself in the moment. But sometimes you just need to drink tears as an evil fae.
Hi!
Hello!
Hi, you are at my coffee shop. Welcome.
Hi, you built this. It's lovely.
Yes.
I love the bookshelves. I love the floor tiling you've got here. And it's a beautiful view to watch the end of the season from.
End of the... yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I just, I make coffee. That is what I do. I appreciate your appreciation for my decorating.
And actually, no, I need to buy some more time-space coffee than that. Properly send enough back to my past self. Because I know I was drinking a lot of it during the desynced sleep issue.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay.
I mean, time traveling, you never know what year or day it is, much less what time of day, so I get that.
Well, that's not quite how the traditional ritual circle works, but I think I've arranged my ender chest to send the coffee back. I mean, it is time-space coffee in an ender chest. It'll probably go back to when it needs to be without much interference at all.
Yeah, ender chests are very otherworldly, unusual. They usually cooperate.
Yep. So, I think I'm just gonna pull up some coffee, even if my other selves find me here. It's it's relatively easy to get out from here, and it's a nice view.
Yeah. You mentioned end of the season?
If you want to avoid that, maybe I suggest going back another few days. I did pick the last day of the season to properly buy the coffee.
Oh, good. That's good intel. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure which of the apocalypses is about to end the season. The sculk contamination that's taken over the Nether hasn't quite reached here yet.
The sculk in the Nether?
So, I was being a bit reckless with space time, and now I can't go home.
I mean, same apparently. Listen, I'm gonna be real. I'm like from the past. Like all of this stuff wasn't really here before. Like some of it was, some of it wasn't. So this is all brand new to me, and I'm at the end of the world.
Yep. It's at least 15% my fault.
Well, good. I'm glad it wasn't entirely my fault. Chicken kind of made it out to be. But, yeah, I'm sure it's, end of the world things is probably a collaborative effort.
Yeah, I think so. And I've also heard something about Blocktron, but I wasn't keeping tabs on that. Actually, that might have been dealt with.
Might have been, yes. Listen, if you're not keeping tabs on things, then I'm going to be keeping less tabs on things.
Fair enough.
I am here for coffee.
Is good coffee. Whoever had the brilliant idea of making crying obsidian coffee, genius. So I'm thinking that's you, but I'm not certain when that was your idea and whether or not it's a bootstrap paradox.
Yeah, my existence is kind of a paradox in itself, so I'll take it.
Okay. Yep. You have paradoxed some very good coffee into existence.
Thank you.
And I'll see you around in the past, presumably. And possibly
in
also in the next season.
Or, yeah, perhaps another world. I'll see you. It's been fun hanging out with you, Aurora.
It has. I didn't expect to make friends when I came here this season, but I think I did.
Yeah. I mean, you're certainly my friend.
Yep. Yeah, I made friends this season. I think I may have even made some friends with people who might, or besides you, but I definitely made a friend with you this season. Like, I'm not certain if I'm friends with Plasma or I'm enjoying messing with him, but, he keeps giving me nice things, and...
He's too nice!
Yeah, he's just too nice! And it's not even, like, my, good normal self where I can properly enjoy the, villainous doppelganger vibes of messing with him. He's just a good elf.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I could say the same. I don't know where I stand with Plasma at the moment, but I'm glad you're friends, question mark, with him. It sounds like you're friends if he's giving you nice things.
Yeah. Look, it's working, and I'm not certain I like that. But he has aggressively made friends with me, and I guess I have to live with this now. All of my villain cred gone. I can't even claim to be the evil Aurora doppelganger anymore.
Yeah, I didn't see a second version of you. I thought it was just you.
I mean, I did kind of steal, or didn't quite tell my, good counterpart that Unorthoblocks was happening.
Oh, yeah, that's a way to actually, that's a big brain play. Just dominate the doppelganger market like I'm the only one. Yes.
Yep.
No one can fight me on this. I'm the doppelganger, and there's only one of me. That's genius.
But maybe I'm going to have to properly invite her for season 4 so that I can reestablish that I am the evil doppelganger. Especially if...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll make sure that she actually gets the invite for the next season.
Mm-hmm.
And after I've had a chance to spread my wings a little, maybe I'll actually be able to put up with working with her for a season.
Yeah. I mean, me and Chicken managed to work together despite stuff happening. So I'm sure you'll be able to work with your counterpart.
Yeah, and I've got to say, it's going to be so much easier if I don't have to take care of the beginning of the season grind this time. I mean, we made it work. It was great working with you on that. But also, I have learned that I would love to have somebody else helping.
Yes.
So if I can get my good counterpart to take over the start of season grunt work... Yep. So, I have plans, and I feel like that's a good... I feel like this has been a good end to things.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's the end of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, though it doesn't quite look like it. It's a bright and sunny day.
It's never on a rainy day, I'll tell you that.
I don't know, sometimes the pathetic fallacy does ensure that we have the world end on a rainy day. But no, I think this is a good ending.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the chat and the knowledge that it's the last day of the world. I'm gonna head back to my own time, I think, because I'm from the past, so I kind of want to live out the remainder of this season.
That does make sense. So, go back, do all the things that you're supposed to do in the past, and then get back here the long way.
Yep. I'll see you later, Aurora.
See you later. And with that, the season 3 comes to an end. But I'm sure you already know that. I'm sure you're watching from season 4, where it's already started. And with that, season 3 comes to an end, but I'm sure you already knew. After all, you're watching this from season 4, aren't you? And I'm sure you know more about my plans than I do at the moment. But I assure you, I have some plans for next season, and I'm looking forward to them.